We are
Do you want to
live.
do an intro? Do you
We
want to do an...
yes, we should.
Hello, everybody! Welcome back to the Nothing Podcast. We're your hosts. My name is Jocelyn. This is Stag, and this is Ellie. Welcome back, guys. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
This is our final and last episode, but we're going out with a banger.
Wow.
Yes, it's so sad we'll never see each other again or talk to each other again.
Okay, that's
Never
second
It's
in
been
our
question.
it's been a fun
lives.
it's been a fun run, guys. Thank you for all your support.
Yeah. All right. Uh, guess we'll start on the only questions for today. That's a new one. Um, what options are available to the students in the TMI community to assist in balancing connections, belonging to community, and overcoming loneliness? Now, obviously, I'm gonna repeat that question multiple times when you ask, but I guess when I say TMI community, I do mean like any school community.
Okay, because I was like, I don't go to your freaking school. I don't know.
Yeah, you can use your school or any school you've been to as an example.
Oh, my school, you
Ooh, your
say?
school. Such a
Yes.
good one.
Well, okay, maybe not because I've only been at my school for like a year, so I haven't really interacted with those resources at all. Um, but I guess I'll just comment on like Keystone because I think I have been around that a bit more,
hmm
just more of my time. So sorry to say this, but like, what was the question?
What options are available to your community to assist in balancing connection, belonging to community, and overcoming loneliness? So
Oh,
there's a little,
Connection to the community and loneliness. Okay,
there's a little bit
writing
of
that
aspects
down.
from yesterday's podcast. I mean, episode.
Yes, yes, yes.
our
So connection to community.
my
uh, I guess Elle can go first. I don't know.
wow.
Whoever wants to, who
Um,
wants to.
my school has a lot of like events, big school of not a big school events, but whenever there's a school event that they want people to go to, they'll make it count for like points in this like competition between the grades. And the more attendance there per grade, they like get points and then win something at the end of the year. So that's a good incentive for people to get together in the community.
Yes, and
And
they
there's
do.
a lot of like dances and events.
Do you think
Yeah.
people are motivated by the awards or joining because they actually like participating?
I think it's usually because of just the competition. That sort of, we got to go because we got to win. And the rewards are like nothing. But just trying to beat the other grades in a friendly competition is nice.
Hmm.
Um, but I think some people are genuinely interested in some of the things.
hmm I think. Yeah. I
Like
mean.
when it's a fun event, there's a lot more people there. When it's something that people care about, way more people attend. But there's
Yeah.
still a good amount of people at every event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
I
I
kind of,
guess I'll talk about my
yeah, I kind
school
of ruined your
because
train of thought, but you're welcome to continue.
I guess in my school, sort of the same thing. It's different because the scale of community is different. Um, at a public school, a lot more just people. Um, so I guess with the amount of people that's there, it's sort of the community is broken up into like parts, you know?
Yeah.
And so we have specifically what I'm a part of, like the ag program and like the FFA and such. They have activities and like depending on what you're interested in, you can sort of interact with that community depending on like your interests. So like if you're interested in ag, they have get-togethers for ag, like these FFA meetings, like barbecues and like competitions and such, like cornhole and stuff. Um, and also depending like on the clubs that you join, obviously. I guess whole community wide though, it's really more just like games, like sports and things.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's 7,000 kids in my school,
Whoa.
it's hard to get the whole
Um,
sort of like grades and such. So like specifically with I guess my grade seniors, there are these senior trips that we go on, um, and it just you really have to break it down depending on your interests. You can't have like such a large group all really interacting all together because it's kind of impossible.
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, my school seems pretty connected. It's a little bit bigger than Keystone, but it's not 7,000.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really know how it is since I never really interacted it with it either.
Hmm.
Uh, Not only do I not know other people's friends group or how they started, but I also never technically joined one. I did have uh, friends in quotation marks around the place, but it was more just generally nice people talking to me.
Yeah, and I feel like that's more the
Yeah.
case with bigger schools. I mean, since I am in one, like you don't see the same people all the time. Each class is going to be different.
Hmm.
I think I see like maybe two or three of the same people in like maybe two classes, and each one it's sort of just different. And that's just because the sheer amount of people in my grade and just in the school in general, like there's a lot more people and you're not going to see them consistently all the time. So it's a bit harder to make friends in that way.
Well, that's how it is usually with class separation. You usually just
Hmm.
see the same person across periods, like
Yeah.
at least 2 times.
Yeah. And I mean, those people that I do know, especially the only people that I've really actually had like talked to like consistently are those in one of my smallest classes, which is just 6 people in this one
Oh
class,
my.
basically. And that's because it's so small, such a small class. I actually know and talk to the people there like quite consistently. Because it's just easier to create that feeling of connection and like sort of like there's barely any of us here, so might as well we work together. You know, might as well
Mm-hmm.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's sort of how it is.
Oh yeah, I went over like do I need to remind everyone how loneliness is different than isolation, or do we remember that from last episode?
I think we remember
I
it's like
remember.
the state of mental being versus the state of physical being, at
Hmm.
least in what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, like with loneliness.
I guess I
Yeah,
would say
sorry.
that I'm neither lonely, but kind of not in a group either. I kind of do just show up to school and only do work and then only go home.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
Mm-hmm.
probably do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie.
I wonder how many people
The
do
only
that.
time you really. Oh, sorry, what?
I wonder how many people do that and have friends. So like they do the bare minimum, but they also have like the most fun throughout the day because they're hanging out with people.
Hmm,
Mm.
that is a good question. Because I feel like
Yeah.
if you're like that, it really depends on like who you know in the period, though, like in the school period. Because you can spend some school periods talking to like people
They're super interesting.
if you don't know anybody. You're just sort of doing work.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I feel like people mostly hang out after school most of the time
Oh, that is true
Yeah.
too.
with those cases. Well, it's the rest. The other part of the question was, how does the community, or I guess, yeah, how does your community
Uh,
like
um, just
stop loneliness?
overcome loneliness, which is
Yeah, overcome loneliness.
How does the school stop it? Clubs? Not, they don't really do it directly.
Yeah, I feel like that is more or less left to the students themselves,
True.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do join clubs and things like that, like join sports, you'll find people that you connect to
Yeah, I don't know.
and that you can talk with.
Especially with sports, I think like just being in a
Yes.
sport creates a super tight group of people.
Yeah.
Like,
And I can say like in sorry, I'll just say this. Like with golf, I joined the golf team and like I met a bunch of people there and like was able to talk with a bunch of people like after school because we had practices after school and then like got to know tournaments and stuff, and that was sort of how I got to know more people than just through like classes in certain periods.
I mean,
Hmm.
the school and teachers help with bullying and stuff, but like you said, relationships are up to the person themselves.
Yeah.
Even if it was like,
Yeah.
let's say it was like mandated or a rule to make people get into friend groups, that would still be like really
Hmm.
awkward and you would end up with people that aren't happy. And also, you
Yeah.
can't just force that too anyway, in any world.
Yeah. I think the max a school you can do is sort of just like create instances where you can meet other people, like gatherings of
Just
multiple
overall create a
people, or
positive environment, and then
yeah,
people will nudge themselves into it.
encourage like people to join clubs that interest them, like, or you know, because I joined an art club and I found people that were fun there,
Nice.
and
Hmm.
yeah, and I think just trying like what my school does, they post like there's so many like posters on the walls that are like saying join this club or join this club or like meet us
Yeah.
in this room if you want to go here. And so I
No,
think my school does a pretty good
I
job of
relate
that,
so
like
much.
sort of organizing those clubs and those events. Like each club also just kind of has like trips that they go on that they fund, a bunch of fundraisers. And so I think my school's got it pretty down. Like if you want to be involved, then you're probably not gonna be alone per
Hmm.
se, like physically. Loneliness mentally is probably a bit harder, but I
Yeah.
think not being alone is gonna help you feel not lonely than being alone.
My school literally every day, hello, all of 12th grade. Here's this club that you're not exactly interested in, but we're gonna be meeting here and at this time, and we're gonna ping you multiple times per week about it.
Oh my gosh, like they do that with morning announcements for us too. They're always it's actually kind of nice because they'll say like, "Oh, this club like we're having meetings if you want to join here," like the people who are ever doing like the morning announcements, and then they'll be like, "Oh, we had like a competition FFA. Look who won." It's like they'll give you like your um the people that won like stuff like in golf when I won a competition, my name would be set up there. Or
It's accessible and it's a good idea, but I mean,
yeah.
it buries like all my important emails that I have starred.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it is a nice way of getting people together.
yeah.
All right.
I think my school sends emails, but they do it like every week. They'll be like, "This is what's happening new."
I have a
So they just send one email per week. They don't
Wow.
send like one per like club or something.
Lucky.
we have a class, like a separate class on our website, or like our grade keeping website called Upper School Resource Page, where it's like no assignments, but they can publish any announcements from there. And instead of showing up in our email, it just shows up on our school Canvas app. And they can also post like schedules and meetings and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing in Keystone.
I think that's the question answered.
Yeah, essentially. Long-winded answer, but it was answered.
It's so sad to see this podcast go.
No.
I know. We went out with a
Actually
bang.
tragic.
We did
Went
so
out with a
good
bang.
all three episodes. Elle, do you have any final
Yes.
words that will be cemented in history forever?
Yippee!